abusia micha na mesan so emu akwa baso ko so efa o channel so ha eda so ya be media gh abusia ene eyade asem asi ewo eye parliament ama eyade Speaker Bagbin abusia ene wakasa ode nsem bi ede atudwa chese enya asem keto me pesem kasa ba wano mpese yekọ na yetie nsem Speaker Bagbin abusia ode atudwa ewo eye parliament na se wie na se ho adwunche bi abusiafo ya kire ya adwe na ansa na ebetie nsem a Speaker Bagbin abusia ode atudwa ewo eye parliament muma yenhwe this short video we na ewia abusia ya kotie ensem a esiye akire ewo eye parliament yentie ne ekoso anase yenhwe ne ekoso emrasesia eha eda so ya be media je bomodi subscribe like na bo ahima for personal be atie enya bi entie eha eda so ya be media je ema remfi so obo notification bell no so for more podcast updates yedase.
Mr. Speaker, we also knew that the exchange rate was all over the place. For almost 8 years, we had borrowed on the market over $60 billion, and yet we could not manage the city. $60 billion was thrown at the city, but we ended up with the city being selling at 17 cities. That was the situation that we inherited. Mr. Speaker, today, some people are complaining that this economy, we pumped in $1.4 billion and they have never heard it before. But they were comfortable to pump $60 billion into that economy and they never complained. But Mr. Speaker, it is a fact that we never pumped $1.4 billion into the economy. What we put into the economy was forests that were generated by the economy. Mr. Speaker, a very simple question. If you set up a gold board, and that gold board that you set up, our importers into the country go to the banks, and they say that they need let's say $250 million in 1 week to import goods into this country. You take that money and you say, gold board, can you buy gold with this money? Bring us the forex, so we give them the $250 million that they need to import. Is that money not emanating from the economy? Or gold is not for Ghana? So if you decide to use gold board to buy gold and you make it available to meet your auction in the market, that is not injection of funding into the economy. That is pure intermediation of forex. And people who call intervention do not know that there's what we call intermediation in the forex market. And so on the average, the gold board was delivering $1 billion into the economy to fund forex. And people cannot understand why we are able to hold the city, because we're getting $1 billion to do that. So my brothers who are all over the place talking about injection, intervention, please revise your note. We were simply intermediating with resources that were generated by the economy. Mr. Speaker, when we inherited this economy, cocoa for 6 months gave us only $500 million. Under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, cocoa delivered $1.8 billion in just the same period of 6 months. And I asked the question, so what do you want us to do with the $1.3 billion extra that we made? So if we give that money back to the economy, you say we have injected money. But what were you expecting? We should go and put those monies in our houses? Obviously, we don't need them in our houses. We need them to enable people get forex to import. And it is the reason we have been able to manage the forex, said that today you can actually get a dollar for less than 11 cities. Mr. Speaker, having turned the corner and addressed these vulnerabilities, we are now moving to the next phase of the economy under the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, the next phase of the 2026 budget, we are intending that we will continue to hold the macroeconomic variables that we have worked so hard to improve. So, Mr. Speaker, in 2026, the inflation that you are seeing will begin to behave again. Mr. Speaker, interest rates are going to behave. Mr. Speaker, the exchange rate will behave, because the people who are managing them are themselves behaving. And when you behave, the economic variables cannot misbehave. We were in a country where for 8 years, because of recklessness and lack of behavior on the part of those managing the economy, all that the variables knew was to misbehave. So inflation was misbehaving at 54%. Today, inflation is behaving, because we are asking inflation stay within the medium-term band of 8% plus or minus 2, and they will continue to behave in 2026. Interest rates are behaving. Now we are able to lend and borrow at 14%. We will continue to make sure that interest rate behave around that figure. Mr. Speaker, the exchange rate has behaved. Everybody knows that. That today the exchange rate fears to go anywhere near 12 cedis, not to talk about 17 cedis. It will continue to behave under the new arrangement that we are putting together in 2026. Mr. Speaker, in 2026, we are going to see a drastic transformation of the Ghanaian economy. The big push is to create the enabling environment for us to renew our infrastructure and transform our economy. Mr. Speaker, the energy sector is going to see an improvement and transformation. We are going to build new power plants. Mr. Speaker, we are intending to solve the problem of fuel in the generation of energy. And as a result, the Minister for Energy and the Minister for Finance are working to ensure that we add another processing plant which will be able to create no less than 150 million standard cubic feet of gas. And that will be a transformation that the people of Ghana know. Mr. Speaker, there will be transformation in aviation. Today, we know that Terminal 2 is not working. We want to make sure that Terminal 2 works, and we will build a Concorde from Terminal 2 to Terminal 3. So you can actually come to Ghana through Terminal 2, and you need to transit through Terminal 3. You just board a Concorde, and you are in Terminal 3. We want to build a multi-story car park for those of you who miss your flight, because anytime you get there in the evening, you cannot get to the car park. We want to build multi-story car parks to ensure that when you are traveling, you have places to park your car and you will not be missing your flight again. Kojo, you will not miss your flight like you did the last time. Mr. Speaker, in addition to that, we want to make sure that we transform domestic aviation. So we will expand the Wa Airport, we will expand the Sunyani Airport, and we will build a new airport in Bolgatanga. Mr. Speaker, that is the work that His Excellency is bringing to Ghana. Again, when our people arrive here and they need to rest, we want to put up a state-of-the-art hotel at the heart of Terminal 3 so that people can sleep there, take their flight, and go away like we do when we get to Ethiopia and we're able to sleep in Addis Ababa. Today, we want to do that here. And it takes His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to do that for the people of Ghana.
Samuel Obia, Kamakwa Electoral Commission, James Aho, say it is finished. Now Kamakwa Makacha is a mammy, Metroba Trobu constituency, and Pesame withdraw my banam troyem. Kwama Wusa Matuaba, Fu Papa Matuaba Bonnie. Na pass ya bakai mukoko moti dia from ami vote to say mukoko moti ka hu bi no ye MP no mekwa akwa withdraw ba me nto aba ho ba trobufo nyame na mobuafo wo munya saa na mama ye ya yete abonte ne ye ra ho se nenti we mu na ehye mrama ye ka kire we na ehye mrama wo no when I shall Mama me yet,
yeah, I'm say one general on one case.
That means no matter for ya general. One general. Ya kai budget a year. Ya kai budget in year, you know. Any 1 hour need 30 minutes. Was a medium a businesswoman. Me quota the no confident in Levidaso.
Until now, me bisa say. Is it because of politics?
Politics. What's a politics? Why exposing ignorance?
Oh, but too bad.
Politics, we're exposing ignorance.
Very bad. Very, very bad.
Now listen, this is the same group of people. Okay, secretary, call parliament for four. Say a 2 abewie na form a chamber new form parliament in new ones no maba no training at the mabo training no our voter region. This is a group of people our boycott to yasanya dia ombeko. Trouble MP. What was that? Why ya expose this about
orientation? No,
orientation.
Okay.
Orientation. No, one so among cock. And see, almost you are so among cock. And I want first to massacre and also coy. Trouble MP. Where you demonstrate young who say ampa orientation. One could be. So Kobiswa, causing financial loss to the state. Wama ye sika no mo de koye sa training no command baby die. E ma na aduane ma ni di ye no. Just ya bon kwasiaka. Eye dey na whole member of parliament. Ya kan kan budget we a budget no kwa mun debate ye me kwa me ni chamber ho kwa no minim nyansa kire say ye kan budget we a ye debate budget no sector by sector ye fa health ni debate ni afa ye kan say education ni afa road ni afa just say ye fa every sector of the economy ni ya discussing and as ye debate budget na ya allocated to them now we are samba back to the chamber ni ya baba tusua ba ni agye to and son budget not take effect in this case aya 2026 budget we are seeing 2025 and this woman that call herself member of parliament is claiming say 2026 adie no egusu ye aduma 2025 aden a bombe yanko a bombe yan one born to the stand they say this common thing so you are common sense you apply it a common sense who person with cheap politics said dang I was always asema me kwa kano e be man grofo won say either say sabe majimi kakra ana eye two things who are wiase na wo kasa wa hwe ye no afa common sense atoma obe kasa wie no obi an say akure dia aso wajim kakra o papa dia ase nkoyi so ahu me nka so wajimi dia me kan say wa bon bon fitai trobu MP wa bon ya kasa obi abon wa bon esa kam wa ku constituency akamere draw me vote pasa ki aba kam me vote aka won say ka ho bi na ati chamber ho awo ya den wo say wo pere ma wo say o pasa wo ya popular na so wa hwe ya saa de na wo de asi wani so sa wo pasa wo ya popular ye trouble MP agene fufa ye de beta akire ne say wonim de wo fom yes member of parliament in Kasasa who expose we ignorance to that level wow constituency for kra ne awu and I over the weekend say o TikTok and crofo di wo fa wo cheche say MP na gu eni masise MP na gu eni masise we ma meka bibi ncho enya so wo MP ni ntia chinchile twan fa wa dwene to fom na kane ma nya sanimo we MPP ni and chese wuni adwen wuni say na no sticker was interviewed by I think one person that was city was saying or interview no I wanna be who say I told be ahun eya na politics na nkrophobia uti sticker interview na uti me say yes panyi kasa e wo me say told be am na nya adwen woni say munu bi odi ho ba o kan okra ema dia wotifa budget no ho o kan no say de tie
yeah
no kwanu accuse atofo say NDC and atofo have been too truthful as more kind of crutch Ghana for dodo. He said that one on a blind side just to make fun of the whole conversation. Not a whole full human being. I am your bow. Abo one half full human being. I am your bow was saying adaje and ye tire esi wo kwaso fa tire ne dwen no wati mi akọ tina kameram ai wasi wa yi COVID-19 lady me ye business papa be na ai who ye business woman papa and ka obe who say ye kind budget it take effect after say ya ji budget na tum ni see the following year I am mid-year budget review and a year juma the same year so we ni mama me educate you trouble MP so what bon mama educate you mid-year budget review and a year juma the same year but this is 2026 budget year just say me do no one mentiasie one your cheap politics ayo cheap politics what would they ayo assembly our person we parliament we need a sa MP or what we ja honom no your friend is simple oh abantia kokoi Jerry,
yeah.
Jerry Ahmed, only with the same character. Also, pretty too much. Nipani Priano exposing her, or Priano exposing her. And also, what you say, Munia Pipi from Kwana Casa Okunimong. I am a Madriam, some Munia Pipi from Kwana Casa. Hey, forget to say, MPP for woman, CPP for woman, NDC for woman, PNC for woman, UP for crowd solo, what's your solo analysis? What's Mr. Solo Speaker of Parliament and Kenchano? Now what you MP way, so what your analysis? I'm a solo etiabia. Wait. Mo party for them kwa na ekasa na so mo party for no kwa nyansafo mo anyansafo mo asamo kansanfo sa na mutumi sa mo kansanfo mo say na mo good man masi no wo kwa ka ya say women empowerment na women empowerment full say dia wan na ba so women empowerment full enti say dia wan pa na oba so yes so we want competent women to represent the women. We cannot just take any woman for and you see Sadia na where you no elections I think I was here question profile dream we can no be adwen channel so person chese obi abodam so de enya sao obia wa mental problem meti wa mental problem pike wane de ka chire wane de ba wo de no wo expose am obi an say wo de ne dam kakra wo mu a ena me yan wo say wo de mental problem na abro so obi a wo mental issue ya kana say me lecture ba ko chira me CSR Mr. Godwin Kusida kwa good morning say or say obi a 5 minutes of his or her life every single day I would have mental problem
the bodam kakra
every human being our 5 minutes. Now, mommy, only 5 minutes. Only the Adam say permanent. Because you papa. And you see, she was saying it with confidence. That is what I feel ashamed. And I'm a businesswoman. Let me have my receipt. Extra say, COVID-19 let me know see what trouble no. A gusu ye juma. Can you imagine? Actually.
Emoya madam we be say emo wirem
enti we ya de metasi tuanika o we ya de metasi tuanika
sad honorable member of parliament na mami ejina mama adesia ewotrobu na mami kan sem we na me say in fact last Friday I sat in for Kwabena Bobiansa on the citizen show and I felt so embarrassed, I felt so bad. A woman of this caliber, of your type, of your caliber as an MP in Kwale War constituency show ya ready budget we are winning say yem fire cram by embedded sector by sector and debate and this budget is 2026 budget. Now we jira ho kan say ya me dey minim ba wonim say amanwofo no ema politics ji wo mu enim kan ye say wo mu gu wo mu akasa ho enim
na nya no wo gu no mani mase poto
ma me say waje ni gu ase poto
wonim say na ni gu ase start ablekuma north buy rerun na obokoye ye no ho na ma me turobu ne nanim gu ase start free yo insem hunu kwa no koja constituency ho kan ye some hunu kwa wan kanya sasam ba ku say e was a campaign no ko in fact onu kwa na ye ma kwa free lose elections no cha ma me no waka wo bi na kwa free o lose ablekuma north because kwa wan kanya sasam ba ku wona me say okwa salon bi ta video ne trend ya pa and akwa che maya no mo ho no and aka kire ma ai akwa free oyo banti and omo ye ne say and omo ye wuti say wan kanya sesam ba ko say amo na omo ye salon hairdressers ne kwa no omo sere no because ama dwene mu no eyesam na no oka and amu aya dwen yen say e bia oti container bi mu oti ba bia oye ne bodwa no just uwura mu a anyansafo bebre wo mu che omo gu parliament won because I say MPs no obi wo kasa wi a na wonu wo kra say nipa no okodwa ne political party say on a more serious note was a political parties no modern standard to ade no ho enyo obia keke o enye so obia akwa na onye sika kakra bia na the delegates na ye nipa bofne fo Akroma delegates na ye nipa bone fo mo no mama ye bre ya ba omi ani Kennedy morans yo mu koi omo mi o ma ni se fe omo hwede ne sika so omo radio betua kese no mo gina so ato aba ma nipa no enti ewie kira aba na omo koto no omo nto aba ma nimdifo omo to aba ma obi a wo sika a watua ye bre wo Akroma nyina eno no
that is the order of
me tie me ni sika me de kwa pre elections enti obi ani wo beto aba ma me kasa me kwa pre kura me ni sika nti ya to ma me chireti ai oni sika de betua delegates by 2000
ka pre kura mi
oni bi enti ne nyansa woni tirim nyina ene ye de titaburu ihu ye ntimi kwa elections bia ye Ghana politics ama ene obia pre ne nwa kope sika no de akotua delegates sika because onim so onya sika delegates adufuru pe Dr. Bamia Johnny for economy no say eye na ado ya tena Akroma ya ma osafo ma for catch na yen say send economy no eye no yen fa ho abaso bode ma bawumia na ade a ya se ya fa ho abaso bode ma wo afa de wo mpese obebodi dabi o osi momo agents aye bebre mesira bibisa momo agents ya de bobra aya sam na bibisa o men ka say nya adwuma na mo bese me bisa Dr. Bawumia say o hwe youth e wa Ghana ha momo agent adwuma ye de bobra woni me say kane no na eye se de bisa momo agent for se sika hin no munya fa so se no munya na onu Bawumia no beba ne ba ye momo agent ye Bawumia obema ne ba ye momo agent eyana me pese me magana mpanyin 40 ase se adwuma wa wo hwa wo bakra no wonim se oye adwuma wo ya ontimi mfa mmobra no ye mfa se adwuma ne hwahwa ye ho se ma pa adwuma ma mabulu abra wa wo mo ya kacho se obanko emomo agent a onye wo mfare o sa de bo a wo safo hene se ye ba emomo agent adoso ekyere se adwuma kura ni kuro nim ti no bia efa ya no da kosi joint so wo ye momo se untimi ka dollar asembiem untimi ka economy asembiem economy amuja ne ho a na even obidi ne sika to aban bond kra na munya ntua dabio na Bawumia kind achievement a na ne no bone fache na wo sreye no wo se mfiri wakomam bone fache na Bawumia sreye no oboa na wo se da bia me ka cha mo se Bawumia we oye monafiki mo nyimi ni Bawumia ya munafiki o obi a wa wujitum samuni o man na ani ni ye mo pa ya chawo ye adwene ho se bia the next 32 years ye de be chamo no wa se adwira kwa gira torchlight ejira fence na pampam ho ena me ba na ma ye momo agent ama momo agent aye bebre ena me ba ye interoperability ena me dia ba already Bawumia is not able to chest out and talk about the dollar. Bawumia is not able to chest out and talk about the economy. Economy now ya de born in Maraneno. I feel that Bawumia is not able to even use it as a campaign message within on one cycle. Now wow cycle MPP ni mukura no na wuntimi mfa nye campaign. Now over stage no so a wo campaign message by den. Wo campaign message e be ye den. Wow asem we ya asem e hu hia ya because enkrofo we ya mismanage your mind for 8 years. Yet even to chacha biamo. Baby a Ghana street na yesisu zia no. Yet even to chacha. Share. Na wo kasa agro ne yedi wo kuro no mu. Ye ne bedi abede no. Sa 4 years we ye di animu. Enu na be sustain Ghana democracy. And that's the reason why ye ni abrese was say about we succeed because I succeed democracy that's the end. O campaign na unam no kwa wo ye no kwa wo nya ba bi kwa no akwaja platform so say wo ye twoboi. Because the youth of this country will be fed up with politicians. So for now, your priority and say, 4 years here the enemy should be a successful term. And when I determine say who Dr. Bawumia 2028 now NPP you know, we benya stage sukura jina no why campaign. It is a many one come bomb paya kache rade say rade. Send ya ma bon ya mentimi amwa Ghana mesraw 4 years here the enemy there. Mo mani ye na emma me opportunity a mentimi dey akwaya campaign. Now can say mabuni na wakrom ha no omada ho. Ya na yo. It is because ya won say niam asesa nti ne akwata no. Enu ti ne aye din ne ye shatokrom ho na ye hwe se de niam ekọ. Na wa wuti e budget na te usan. Wuti e budget ni wie ye no. As economists na wo claim no na te usan. COVID levy na wo de ba ya hu mfumfa so bia no. COVID levy no ye say ye fro ba campaign na de be. News and taxes are we introduce so ye free and you say wo baba ya compare chira ye Ghana for na dey pa na obeka interoperability and Ghana card interoperability Ghana card Dr. Bawumia wow enti na me saying MPP wa hu samu pese mu ba mu bie mu a yetu mu fa ya mu ntie mo wo sa faces na ala ne app so mo pe flag bearer no omunyina yahu amo enti omu pusu yen yo Brian yebe kai na ya waso weswogo yebe kai na so oja platform so ka say ya handle over power na ya mamo power china na sa wono no oyobi a ya ka say puduo hia ohiem ya inciting crofoni yankontokwa ohiem enti bra champo yenim no for violence ye nim no say ono so de ye goro ho kitua bi o manager pade obaka so wanya sika buso enti ya fama ne nto ya fa Dr. Bawumia de ye in esese ye hu de ye nkamfa ne ho kedede Japan so de ono akasa kwa ne party for say wonyo obi a obe presidential material enyam na meka Bawumia kampa tutu bia mane ne bebre etu utimu so ono so ye hwa ye hu no etu ono so kra no enkoye adu chum so de ade anim sa ne hote ohotini ewo na Bawumia so de ne fom so ne boni akase a waye edu ade bra ye ne ye hwa bone no na nya bone ketwa enti adu chum so ye hu no nipa ye hye na nka e bia be ye eye kobere Japan wonu so kura no krofo se woyo kofo type odi bone enti wonu kura no na se na asem krofo agya ne kakra because kofo time de ache enti asem krofo